Y'all listen. There is this word that all of us know. We all use this word. Some of us apply it. Some of us have a battle with it. You hear this word said at different networking events and expos. And that word is consistency, right? Now, we say it, but oftentimes we don't always apply it. I am one of those people. Unfortunately, I just admitted that. But I know I'm not the only one, so don't leave me out here hanging. This particular word, I find it ironic that we can be consistent with battling consistency versus being consistent with a goal or a thing we set out to do. And I realized for myself, because I told y'all with these Thoughtful Tuesday videos, I'm not instructed to just give you a word for the sake of giving you a word or give you a thought for the sake of giving you a thought. Most of the time, all the time, it is really me overcoming things and sharing that with somebody else, hoping that that person or you all, whoever watched this video, will overcome. But for myself, I realized like, oh snap, there are 3 things that are really keeping me from being consistent. The first one is fear. Now, yes, the Bible does say, for I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. But the truth is, fear doesn't leave just because you have faith. But if you have faith and you choose to walk by that faith, faith does take the wheel. And fear is still there. It doesn't just go away, but you don't allow fear to drive. For me, it was the thing of having taken so many faith steps in my short life. I'm only 28. Having taken a lot of faith steps, I feel like I'm in a place now where it's no longer steps, they're leaps, and it's causing anxiety and a little bit of fear. Not necessarily anxiety and fear of, am I doing the right thing? But the battle with the what ifs, like so many what ifs, right? And as a creative, you're afraid sometimes to just kind of give your baby away. Because it's like, once I share it with the world, once I, promote this product, I don't want it to be mishandled. I don't want it to be judged. I don't want to have that thought and that feeling that what I have to offer isn't enough, right? But who am I to hold on so tightly to my dream out of fear of not being good enough, right? What I'm called to do and the method that I'm using to share my gift is just that. It's a method. And my gift is supposed to be shared. And the Bible that I read says, your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men and kings. And it's definitely been doing that. That's the first thing that's been keeping me away from being consistent. The second thing is vision. Now, if you don't struggle with this, my hat is off to you. But for those who do, or you may didn't realize you struggle with it until you heard me speak about it. A lack of vision for yourself sometimes stems from a lack of vision of yourself, right? I knew who I was at one point in time, but somewhere along the way, I got caught up, tripped up a little bit. I allowed so many outside influences to validate my vision or to validate who I was, and I got caught up in that, and it kind of affected my vision a little bit. But the more and more I grow closer with God, the more and more He tells me who I am. And when He tells me who I am, the more I embrace His truth versus the truth I once knew, which wasn't a truth if it's not His truth. The more I embrace His truth, the more I see myself, the more I see others correctly, and the more I have clarity in the vision for the dreams and the things He's placed on my heart to do. Now, the third thing that may be in the way and that causes us to battle with consistency is discipline. Now, y'all, I've spoken about liking bread, but I don't think y'all really understand the stronghold that bread has on your girl, okay? It's something special about Publix bakery. Not just the bread, but the cookies, the cakes, the donuts. You can put a Publix donut in front of me and I may devour that thing. I'm just being honest. But what I've learned with discipline, if you have no discipline, You have no consistency. That's just on that. The greatest example I've seen in my life today, until this day, and I still see it, is my mom. She's a bodybuilder, homegirl is fine, okay? Fine. I've seen where she started. When she told my brothers and I that she wanted to be a bodybuilder, we were like, go for it, you got it. But she was so disciplined in her diet, in her workout. She was disciplined with her cheat days. Her coach gave her a plan, and he even factored in, like, I know you're human, you're gonna wanna cheat, you have cravings, so I'm gonna factor this in. And she did just that. But what I appreciate about my mom and what I admire the most is that regardless of how she feels, regardless of if she may want a cookie or a cake or a donut, she remembers the goals, and her discipline keeps her consistent to reach her goals. Watching her has motivated me, but I also realize that it's going to take more than motivation for me to be consistent. And I'm so glad that I recognize these 3 areas in my life that's keeping me from being consistent. Now that I have a clear vision, I'm learning discipline is needed to execute on that vision. And I'm also learning that the more I'm disciplining myself to execute this vision, the more and more fear is no longer driving my life. And the more and more these faith leaps aren't feeling scary, and I'm not being bogged down with so many what ifs. I'm just being honest and transparent. I encourage you to really take an inventory of your life and ask yourself, what is in the way of me being consistent? Because I can't keep talking about and sharing videos about being consistent and I'm not doing it myself. That's just being honest. These are the 3 areas in my life, and maybe it's the 3 areas in your life. But if not, I do ask that you find one area in your life to be disciplined in.